Teachers, what's the saddest secret you've heard from a student? I teach high school English. I've read hundreds of essays, sat through thousands of parent conferences, and watched students bloom, break, and sometimes vanish. But one student still stays with me, Jamal. He was 16, lanky, quiet, always in the back row with his hoodie up. He never caused trouble. He didn't talk in class, didn't laugh with the other kids. He just sketched in his notebook. Dragons, alleyways, people with hollow eyes, and faded into the background. His essays, though, vivid, raw, descriptions that hit like a punch. Dark alleys, flickering streetlights, rooms that felt more like cages. I figured he was just a private kid with a good imagination. Then halfway through the year, he started missing classes. One day, two, then entire weeks. His already shaky grades dropped off a cliff. I pulled him aside after a lesson once and asked if he was okay. He gave a shrug and a quiet, just stuff at home, then disappeared before I could press. I reported it to the counselor because that's the protocol. But without specifics, there wasn't much they could do. Then we assigned a creative writing piece. Write about a moment that shaped you. Jamal turned in a story that made my stomach drop. It was about a boy hiding in a closet with his little brother, counting seconds between their stepdad's punches hitting their mother. Every detail was razor sharp. Creaking floorboards, the clang of a belt buckle, a spilled beer can, the way the mom whispered, "It's okay," like she was trying to convince herself. The boy holding his brother close, telling him stories to cover the screams. I read it late at night, my coffee growing cold in my hands, and I knew this wasn't fiction. The next day I called Jamal up to my desk, quietly, carefully. I asked if the story was based on something real. He didn't look at me, just stared at the floor. Then he started talking. His stepdad had been abusing his mom for years. It had gotten worse after his little brother was born. When the yelling started, Jamal would scoop up his brother and hide in the closet. He'd tell him made-up stories, fairy tales, anything to cover the noise. He tried to intervene once, got hit for it. The bruises he'd hidden under long sleeves started making sense. They couldn't leave. His mom had no family nearby, no money, and his stepdad had made it clear, if you tell anyone, your little brother gets it next. He told me he wrote the story because he didn't know what else to do. He thought of me like a diary, said I'd keep it secret. I couldn't. I followed mandatory reporting, told the counselor, the principal, called child services. They got involved quickly. His family was moved to a shelter. I hoped, we all hoped, it would stick, that they'd be safe. A month later, his mom went back to the stepdad. Jamal stopped coming to school. I heard later he and his little brother were placed in a foster home. That's the last anyone at our school ever heard of him. I still think about that story, the closet, the whispered fairy tales, and I still keep his essay in a locked drawer. Not because it's a great piece of writing, though it is, but because sometimes that's the only way a kid knows how to ask for help, and sometimes help comes too late.